and wet. So had a pretty quiet night. We're not supposed to have a quiet night tonight, so I didn't sleep the greatest. But go home and have a nap, and be praying that the thunderstorms tonight just stay thunderstorms, and that's it. A little bit of wind and thunderstorms, and we can just be. That's all that comes about. Again, I know that there's some storms on the way for people, so I pray for everybody that they're safe, but we're kind of on the outskirts. I guess we're on the slight scale from what I can understand from any kind of potential tornadoes or anything like that. So
we're not severe,
yeah,
and we're not just rain. We're the
we're
in between level.
We're slight.
No,
No,
slight is just rain.
No, if you look
I looked at it this morning.
You looked at this well anyway.
Mind you, I was up at 4:30.
I think. Well, he's looked at one, and we've looked at one, and who knows? That's in God's hands, but be lifting us up in your prayers. I know you all will. But we're on our way to church. I'll let you all see. Rainy mess, as you can see. And so it's not. And apparently we're going to be doing rain, and more rain the rest of the week. So get you settle in for it, I guess.
Showers bring Mayflowers.
Yeah. I want my winter and my fall back. Mama wants to keep the spring and summer, but those are not my favorite months. My favorite months are winter and fall.
Alaska.
Have fun. So anyway, I hope everybody's having a good morning this morning. We uploaded the devotions. We also uploaded the quote reflection Saturday. That's up for everybody to view. If you haven't gone and watched some of our previous stuff, go back and watch it. There's a lot of great content. There's a lot of lives that we did that had a lot of content to it, and it does help the channel to go back and watch some of the older stuff. And it's a great way to support a channel just by going and watching their stuff. There's a lot of really good material on there. And we're, just keep going forward, moving forward, and so forth. We're going to try another streaming service this week. So we'll see how that one is. I'm going to think. Welcome in, Shabash. I'm going to try another streaming service this week, see how I like it. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade with Riverside and do one more with Riverside with whatever they say the upgrade is to see if I like that. I thought I have to do the upgrade for $10 extra a month to see if I even like the benefits you get from that. And then I also have to see about maybe having some people on this week with me and seeing if they can share it on their channel as well as if it's an ease to share it. So all of those things have to happen before the 9th, which is fine. We've got time. So we'll figure out if I can have some people on and we can just have some connection happening and so forth. And, welcome in. And it's English here, so but welcome in and to the channel. So we'll see. We'll kind of see which is kind of the direction. So I have to do those two things. I have to upgrade to their next level and see what kind of features I'm going to get through that, and then I have to have some people that want to come on with me so that I can see how they like it and how easy it is for them to get on and so forth and so on. So, and then I have to try the other streaming service. I'm if I was any person, I would absolutely, if I knew anything about building a streaming service, I'd build my own because I've got things I like about Riverside and I like about StreamYard, and I wish I could just bring them all together in one. I've thought about that. For those that tuned in yesterday, an update about Josh's package that apparently went to Mansfield, Louisiana. He called the of Amazon, and all they needed to do was pinpoint where his
update my
coordinates.
Geolocation coordinates.
That's all they had to do. It was simple, but he spent round robin. They've sent the package out twice to an address that doesn't exist in.
No, the address exists. You just have to have a special way to get into the address.
Anyway, but so forth. But it's been a big mess.
But nobody seems to read delivery instructions.
But
the delivery instructions would tell you, I don't live in Louisiana.
So anyway, I think he's reordered it again. So we'll hope. Well,
she said this order will be here in 48 hours.
I'm sorry, but I only speak English, so welcome on in. I can't speak anything else. I don't know any other language but English. So anyway, I was thinking of the whole premise of yesterday. We did a quote reflection Saturday, and one of the things it talks about, one of the quotes that I kind of reflected on a little bit, was the quote that we had put up. I think it was the 17th, and it said, kind of something to the lines of, there's no, if you struggle, doesn't mean necessarily there's no progress. And sometimes when we're in the midst of a struggle, when we're sitting there thinking, I'm not making any progress, we actually are. We can make so much further progress when we're doing it as a community. When we're struggling with something, and I thought about that even, and I didn't put it in there, but I thought about that with Christina and with her horseback riding and so forth. But have a good night. But I thought about, her doing her, her horseback riding over the years. And I thought, you know what, if she just looks at that, and I even thought about that, and because I put pictures in there and some video of her riding Fred, which was the horses through the handicap. And I'm thinking, if she just looks at that little clip, she can see that she may feel as if she didn't really go very far, but she did. I saw her on the horse on Fred, that little first. She was so tiny, and then she was only 5. She got on this big horse, and then she had sidewalkers on both sides, and then she didn't have a sidewalker, and she just had somebody in front, and then she was independent. You could see it happening. And we have to remember that in the midst of our struggles, sometimes we are making progress. I look at my crochet and I think, I don't think I could have done the blankets I'm doing now when I first started. Or
you got pissed off when you first started.
Oh yeah, I did. And I remember doing just a single crochet, going,
a year in, you were crocheting better than my mother, and my mother's been doing it since she was 18.
Hi Maine, how are you? I just remember doing the first crochet, and it was just a single crochet, and literally I was like, by the time I was done, it was supposed to be on the sides were even, and the sides were like way out. They were, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? And I had to actually go and get some assistance and help, and somebody show me how to do it. And I thought, I'm just going to get done with this hat, and then I'm done. I'm not going to do anymore, right? Well, that didn't last. But I look at even the stuff I did 2 or 3 years ago and how much I've improved. And I look at, you know, I'm taking the current pattern that I have and I'm changing the wording on the pattern and having to figure out stuff. And eventually, we are going to have those patterns that I really like, the blankets I do. We're going to start doing some ourselves. And I'm going to have to start figuring out how to have them on a graph and do all that. I'm thinking, I couldn't have done this just even 5 years ago. I couldn't have imagined doing this 5 years ago. So if you're struggling with something, whatever it is, even if you're taking one step forward, you're progressing. And sometimes you don't progress without struggle. I don't think there's anything that we do well and we improve on if we don't keep putting one foot in front of the other. I look at this and I think if you go back to our first live, oh my goodness, how much I've improved, how much more confidence I have, how much I do so much better than I did even, 3 or 4, even a year ago. I have improved so much and learned so much and, been able to figure this out. When I first got on, I was like, what do I do and how do I do and what do I say and what do I don't say? And now it's like I've got so much more knowledge. So sometimes we really need to make sure that we're realizing that we may be struggling with whatever it may be, but we have to realize, what we're going forward and look sometimes a little bit back in the mix of the struggle and say, are we going forward? Are we progressing? And sometimes it doesn't feel like we are. There's times even now where, you know, I struggle. We go live or something and there's not too many people on the chat. And I'm like, am I progressing forward? Are we progressing forward? And I know we are, and I know we'll continue to do that. But if you just stop and quit, you're not going to go forward. If I had thrown up the crochet hooks and said, well, forget this, I wouldn't be doing something that I really totally enjoy today. I also cross stitch. I do that tremendously well. I haven't done it for a while because I've been so busy.
I see them.
Sorry, there's a car backing up and I'm like, I don't know if they see us.
I hope they see us.
With cross stitch, and I'm thinking, if you look at my cross stitch, the back of the cross stitch looks very similar to the front. May have a lot of yarn in the back and ties and all that, but it looks very similar to the front of the cross stitch. And it took me a long time to get to the point where I've done as well as I've done with that. I've been so busy with blankets, I haven't been able to do that. And we just need to remember not to quit, not to give up. And if we can improve ourselves, especially too if we do it within a community, if we're there for each other, if we're supporting each other, if we're expanding out of our comfort zone. If you're wanting to make your comfort zone bigger, if you stay in your comfort zone, it's not going to get bigger. You got to step on out of it, and do it. And it's better if we do it with friends, right? If we're trying to do it by ourselves, if we're trying to do it on our own strength, if you have faith and you believe in the Lord, then realize that you can't do anything on your own strength. Don't try. Do it with Him. I was thinking, how often have we looked for things? I don't know about you, but you put something away and I can't find it. You spend 2 hours looking for the thing, right? You step away, you breathe. If you believe, then you sit down and have a prayer for a minute. You step away for about a half an hour. What happens? You find it. You're sitting there thinking to yourself, I've been tearing everything around, and here it is. but sometimes we need to step away.
Or in
And
my case, you find it in a year.
yeah, or if your mama back there who tends to hide things, and then she says to,
doesn't hide them. She says she puts it in a safe place, but then she forgets what the safe place was.
absolutely, it's like, okay, where did you put this? And
I
sure,
don't remember.
I don't remember. I put it in a safe place. We know that, but she doesn't quite know where she's put it. So, um, take one day at a time and realize that this is what this community has been built for. It's not been built to teach you how to crochet. It's been built to have connection happen. And it just happens to be, I thought about it the other day because, I do learn a lot from Tuber Chat. If you haven't checked them out, you need to go check them out. But if he said, eventually your name really doesn't matter in the YouTube world, I guess, because eventually people get to know you as Blessed to Crochet. Well, I'm Blessed to Crochet. Mama's Mama Blessed to Crochet. It's her channel. And of course, we have Mr. Blessed to Crochet. And so people know that name. At least our community knows that name of almost 1,600 subscribers. But if you're going, I don't crochet, the initials of that is B2C. So change it to Blessed to connect. Change instead of crochet. Well, you know what? It's Blessed to connect. I will not be of that at all, right? Because if you need to say, well, I don't crochet, well, just change out the crochet and say connect, and that's Blessed to connect. We do. It's the same. It's what we do. So change
Born
it out.
to connect.
So change it up. It doesn't matter. We need to also take the moment in this YouTube world and look past the name of a channel. Go, investigate, what the channel is about. If you go to our channel, you're going to see, if you go to the videos a lot, you're going to see a lot of devotions, but that's not all the pie of our channel. If you think about a pie, we have slices. Devotions, one slice. We have recipes. We have uh, singing. We have uh, the Mad Libs Friday now. We have Mocha. We have topics. We have positive ones. We have,
We have Mr. Blessed interrupting all the time.
We have the drive to church on Sunday. We have all these little things, but the main sliver of our channel is connection. And it can be a very, very powerful tool, especially if you're going through a difficult time, especially if you're finding, life to be difficult at this time. Don't try to do it by yourself. It's so much harder when we try to do it by ourselves. Today is 3 weeks since Patty passed. It feels like 3 years ago.
It's been 3 weeks.
It's been 3 weeks, but like Josh said, it feels like 3 years ago. And I'm thinking to myself, it hasn't been an easy 3 weeks. It's been a really rough 3 weeks. I still miss her. I always will miss her. She was my aunt, for those that don't know. I'm still waiting for her phone call. And it's not going to happen. But I don't know what I would have done without the community we have built to walk us through from the time of the diagnosis of cancer to, her coming here, which was such a blessing. You guys really stepped up and made that happen. You all should be feel so good that you helped someone that was going to leave this world to see their family one last time. And then, during hospice and then her passing, you all were there for us. You're still there for us. we're still there to kind of process this, because I'm not the only one that has experienced a loss recently. It is something that we have to face, but we can face it together, not face it alone. None of us need to do that alone. It's miserable to sit there and go through something and at least not feel. I had somebody say last night, thank you, because I don't feel like I'm by myself. I'm not trying to do this journey by ourselves. It's the wrong way to look at it. And for those people that think, well, you get out in your community, yes, but if you're dealing with a chronic illness like myself, or raising a
30
special
seconds.
needs child, or if you're dealing with taking care of an adult with illness or what have you, or an older parent, you may not be able to go out as often as someone that doesn't have those restrictions. So, YouTube can be a source of connection and support, especially communities like ours. There's so many other communities that do live chats that have people come in and connect. And it's a wonderful resource to have in your toolbox to be able to come together and have that connection and help us through this crazy thing we call life. So we're almost to church. I'm going to do our things. And, just like I tell my niece every time I see her, just remember, you can always call your Aunt Mary, and she's always here to talk with. I remind you guys of this because it's so important. Remember, be proud of being yourself. Everyone else is taken. God loves you just the way you are. We have you covered. Thank you so much for having us covered. And keep crocheting that connection. Hi, Tuber Chat. No connection. Keep crocheting that connection. I haven't had the coffee yet. Keep crocheting that connection. No crochet hook required. We'll see you on the next one. And remember, be proud of, or remember, today is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad it is. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for sharing it, Tuber Chat. And if you haven't checked them out, go check them out. Great channel. Love y'all. Have a good day. Stay dry. Bye bye, everybody.